stay.
WWE 2K17 was released in October 2016 to mixed reviews from critics and fans alike. Going into the release of the game, there was a lot of hype, and WWE spent a lot of time marketing the game, and it even built the feud between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg at the 2016 Survivor Series around their involvement in the game itself. One of the main criticisms towards the game was the lack of a showcase mode on offer, as well as a lack of advancement in gameplay. Now, apart from the mixed reviews, there were a few secrets and hidden facts that you may not have known about the game. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when we upload a video. Number 10. Shinsuke Nakamura has a secret animation. To perform the taunt, players must begin a chain wrestling sequence and then both players must hit the same button. This will then lead to Nakamura performing the taunt. If neither player strikes after both press the same button, then once Nakamura's opponent is pushed into the turnbuckle, he'll perform the taunt with an added extra where he mocks the opponent in the turnbuckle. This is a great little detail, which once players discover how to do it, they simply couldn't stop. Number 9. You can steal Xavier Woods' trombone Francesca. A great addition to 2K17 was the ability to steal Xavier Woods' trombone. When playing against Woods, players had the ability to attack him during his entrance. Players could then pick up his trombone and actually begin to play the instrument.
The punishment they're about to receive out here.
This actually resulted in some downright hilarious gameplay footage as players uploaded the likes of The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar and Kane playing the trombone. Number 8. DLC superstars available included an older version of Ric Flair. The list of superstars available via DLC for 2K17 was incredible. Names available ranged from Eddie Guerrero and Psycho Sid to alternative older versions of WWE legends. These included a 1988 version of Ric Flair, a Wolfpack version of Sting, a 92 version of Cactus Jack, and even a 99 version of The Big Show. However, some don't know that it's actually possible to use the current version of Ric Flair. If you select Ric Flair as your manager, he has the option of a manager attire and his current look.
Accompanied by that nature boy, Ric Flair, from the Queen City, the WWE Women's Champion, Charlotte!
Number 7. A secret SmackDown stage is seen when creating an arena. When creating an arena on custom creations, if a player zooms in under the ring, they would actually see that the default arena was actually an old SmackDown set featuring the old WWE logo. Why this was a default stage featured rather than the modern WWE set design is unclear, and nevertheless it's a really interesting detail. Many thanks to Max who found this one out. Number 6. You had the ability to pull the referee out of the ring as a manager. One of the things that received a positive reception in the game was the ability for heel managers to get involved in matches. One of the things managers were able to do was pull the referee out of the ring when their client was about to be pinned for the 1-2-3. There were risks involved in doing this, however, as if the feature was used more than once, it could lead to the manager being rejected from ringside. Nevertheless, this was a great feature which reflects what fans often saw on WWE television. Number 5. WWE made a huge deal out of the McMahon family being playable characters in the game. When Vince, Stephanie and Shane were announced for 2K17, they decided to make a huge deal out of the announcement. They would have Stephanie tweet out the news on Twitter and a brief press release would follow on WWE.com. The issue was that this did little to garner excitement for the game. The trio had featured in a number of games before, and Stephanie herself was in the game the year prior. Why the WWE and the McMahons decided to make a big deal out of this is anyone's guess, but it was rumored at the time there was going to be some kind of story mode involving the McMahon family, which may have explained Stephanie's excitement and the subsequent press release, but this never came to fruition. Number 4. A critical save error. It surfaced that when the game was initially released, there was an error which resulted in a number of players having all their save data wiped out. This error came about when the PS4 users placed their console in sleep mode whilst on the main 2K17 menu, and this resulted in their save data being wiped entirely. Numerous players submitted tickets to report the error, and it appeared to be resolved relatively quickly without too much player backlash. Number 3, every superstar in the Future Stars DLC has now been released. Amazingly, every single superstar featured in the Future Stars DLC has now been released from the WWE. The names included in the pack were Austin Aries, Mojo Rawley, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Ty Dillinger. The last of them to be released was Mojo, who was released in 2021 as part of the WWE's budget cuts. This is a sad fact, but unfortunately it shows how easy it is for WWE management to change their perception of a superstar. Number 2, you can attack an opponent with a signature weapon on the stage. Similarly to players having the ability to steal Xavier Woods' trombone on the stage, players were also able to break out and attack their opponent on the stage with a weapon.
On thin ice here, the refs warned them. Oh, and did you hear the impact?
Also, if an opponent just so happens to be wearing a championship belt, then the players can use that belt as a weapon to beat down the opponent to get an unfair advantage before the bell even rings. And number 1, over a dozen superstars made their video game debuts. Some of these names went on to become WWE main eventers and world champions. AJ Styles was one of the biggest names making his video game debut in 2K17, as AJ made his debut in January of 2016 and was actually WWE champion when the game was released.
AJ Styles setting him up. Look at this. Oh my God. Styles clash.
Alexa Bliss, Carmella, and Dana Brooke also made their debuts after debuting on the main roster in the months leading up to the game's release. Other debuts included Braun Strowman, who would go on to become one of the WWE's biggest stars and would win the Universal title in the years to come. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair also made their game debuts, and these 3 women would go on to become 3 of the biggest female names in WWE history, and all 3 would main event WrestleMania at WrestleManias 35 and 37 respectively. The other member of the 4 Horsewomen, Bayley, also made her video game debut, making 2K17 the official game debut for all members of the group. Another key name debuting in 2K17 was Shinsuke Nakamura, who fans were really excited to see make his video game debut.
Weighing in at 230 pounds, the NXT champion, Shinsuke Nakamura.
You can feel the intensity level inside the arena rising. Man, I can't wait to see these 2 square off in one-on-one action.
But there you have it, folks. 10 secrets and hidden facts of 2K17. Let us know any more in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more